Google has quietly swapped your image generator for a worse one. If you're creating visualizations in the Gemini interface, stay with me to see how to still use the best model, Nano Banana Pro, which guarantees the highest photorealistic quality. At the end of February, Google's new model, Nano Banana 2, had its premiere. It combines the capabilities of the Pro model with lightning-fast speed. Besides that, it has advanced world knowledge and reproduces text very precisely, and it handles translations well. Furthermore, it maintains subject consistency even in situations where we send it 14 objects. It follows instructions precisely, though I'd have some doubts about that, and it allows for creation in resolutions from 512 pixels up to 4K. Google also presents several interesting applications for this model here. With the release, Nano Banana 2 became the default model in the Gemini interface. As a reminder, on the website gemini.google.com/app, you can generate AI visualizations, edit your projects, change floor plans into photorealistic axonometries, and much more. Anyway, I've talked about this in other previous videos on this channel. After selecting the tool and create image, you now have ready-made presets, the so-called image style. They aren't particularly interesting from an architect's point of view. However, a certain picture emerges from them. The main use for these image-generating models is editing vacation photos, making some memes, or checking what your children will look like in the future. Oh, the horror. At best, these models are used for some marketing purposes. For such applications, the new Nano Banana 2 model is perfectly suited. It's faster, twice as cheap as the Pro version. This way, Google handles millions of queries with much less energy consumption. For us designers, however, Nano Banana 2 is not enough. So let's ignore these available styles and use the following example. I'm uploading a black and white interior from SketchUp and adding a simple prompt. Strong intent. At the beginning, a specific interior finish and materials, and at the end, preserving the original geometry, composition, and design. Standard stuff. Now, a couple more words about the modes. The default mode is the fast mode, which means it's minimally thinking. In thinking mode and Pro mode, the Nano Banana 2 model thinks much longer, analyzing the task for a longer time. This is the highest level of thinking. So let's check how it will handle this task. To not rely on just one generation, I performed the same transformation multiple times with the same image and text input. The results are as follows. The model adds some random geometries. In none of the generations did it manage to recreate the lamp that was in the base image, and it repeatedly misinterprets the kitchen design. For comparison, 5 results made with the Nano Banana Pro model. You can see that the effect is more predictable, consistent. The ceiling lamp looks the same in all generations. Color-wise, it is very similar. The kitchen design differs in the milling on only one image out of 5. The decorations remain very consistent. The Pro model hallucinates to a lesser extent. Nano Banana 2 handles text and placing the scene in a real location perfectly. At the same time, it doesn't stick to rigid geometry guidelines and lacks the consistency that the Pro version impressed us with. So how do you use this older but more powerful brother in the Gemini interface? Google cleverly hid it. You can't generate images in the Pro version right away. To do that, you first have to generate an image with the default Nano Banana 2 model. Information about the model used is available after clicking on the 3 dots. The Retry with Pro function is also available here. This option is only available once you get the basic result and provided you have a Pro plan in Gemini. Only then can you click those 3 dots and select the Retry with Pro option. It's a business strategy. If the user is satisfied with that first worse image, Google saves a lot. If you prefer to work in higher quality from the start, I recommend the Google AI Studio interface. It's available at aistudio.google.com. Only here can you create by default from the start with the Nano Banana Pro model. However, I can specify Nano Banana 2 with additional settings, which maybe in a moment. Using AI Studio is quite complicated because you have to set up a special API key and link your credit card. I talked more about this in my video, Nano Banana Pro for free. There you'll find the technical details of setting up an account and generation. Unfortunately, at the time of recording this video, using these models completely for free is no longer possible. Both models are, however, relatively cheap, averaging about 6 or 7 cents for one image from Nano Banana, 2 and 13 cents for that better model, Nano Banana Pro. At this point, I have to do justice to the Nano Banana 2 model. Besides the ability to change the temperature, meaning the degree of creativity of the response, it generates in resolutions from 512 up to 4000 pixels. It also has more aspect ratios than the Pro model, 4:1, 1:4, 8:1, or 1:8, obviously after changing the resolution. I can also set the previously mentioned thinking level here, minimal or high, thus affecting the cost of a single generation. This is an undoubted plus for Nano Banana 2. It also handles text well and catches extensive context on the fly. Let's check this out on a mood board example. I'm loading 7 images directly into Google AI Studio and writing a simple prompt to create a mood board of the flat lay type. I added a clear instruction for the model to complete descriptions for each of the objects appearing on this mood board, and that's exactly what happened. Nano Banana 2 adds very legible, error-free text, basically, without any additional instructions from me. It handles direct embedding of annotations in space without any problem. Compositionally, there's nothing to complain about either. Does it do it better than the Pro version? I'll leave the verdict to you. It's worth treating Nano Banana 2 as a faster, cheaper conceptual tool. Undoubtedly, it has many useful applications, but the king of photorealism and consistency remains Nano Banana Pro. It's worth taking the trouble to get to it. Well, the world of artificial intelligence changes from week to week. Hidden options, new models, interface updates. You can get lost in it. If you don't want to wander in the dark, check out my AI visualization and video course at cgwisdom.pel. I tackle all the intricate technological issues there and translate them into accessible human language. I show specific techniques through which artificial intelligence will become your best assistant. I'm leaving the link in the description, and in the meantime, thank you for watching to the end and see you in the next video.